Well, I was sat relaxing on the sofa, chatting to dogs. And I've got this little squishy face looking at me, saying he's hungry. So how can I resist this? So I'm going to leave you guys looking at Lottie for a minute. And he's looking right back at you while I go and get some worms ready for their dinner.
Actually, I did. I saw this coming, even before Ty's assault charges. Peter, be honest with me. Is even a small part of this my fault? I mean, did I push maybe too hard? Okay, no. I know you're supposed to fly out to Vancouver tonight, but are you gonna go? I mean, just considering everything this.
No, it's canceled already. I'm gonna stick around to this also.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So what time did the guys leave this morning?
Oh, before dawn.
This isn't going to be long.
Yeah.
We're an all-night ride tonight.
That's what they called it when we were on the road.
Sometimes reception's better outside.
Because I'm going to sit here
Yeah, really?
right with you. Oh, look at that little face. How can I resist that? I can't.
Yeah, come in.
So, just going to go get these worms washed off.
Hey, good morning. So what the heck did you two think you would do? Okay, well, hold on a second.
Well, we can explain.
Do you have any idea what Lou's going through right now?
How did you know we were here?
Will Vernon called, that's all.
He also said that you were looking for a minister.
We were. Okay, we wanted to get away from all the craziness.
We just wanted something that was special.
Well, congratulations. I guess you got what you wanted.
Now, hold on. We didn't, guys.
You didn't want.
We wanted to be with family and friends. So, no, we didn't get married.
Alright, bring something for me to sit on. I'm going to sit right here with you. I'm going to leave the TV on. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Right, let's just put on. I've been watching a brilliant hotels programme. Amazing hotels beyond the lobby. I liked last series, and this series is brilliant. Both presenters are great. They work really well together. So let's just find that and get that back on. Then I can sit and watch TV and the Axolotls, and you can enjoy them. I've got two dogs looking at me. They've had a nice long walk. I haven't been feeling well at all the last few days, so they've missed out a little bit. Now somewhere, that's it, let's go into that one. Okay, I'm with you, the worms are escaping. Alright, hi, lovely to see so many of you. So what I'm going to do is start putting wormies in now. This is Lottie, like I said. For those of you who don't know us and haven't followed us before, Lottie is a leucistic axolotl. They're an amphibian, but they do look very like fish, you're absolutely right. Behind him is Jax, who is a wild coloration. And over to the other side is Jellybean, who's copper. So let's pop some worms down. Start with here. You can see he's hungry. Oh, he missed that one. Oh, not quite, hasn't quite got one. But he's quite good, he'll grab them in a minute. So I've got some worms down there. I have probably got too many out the box, but I'm trying to only feed them once or twice a week, to be honest. There we go. That's got him. Happy. I'm going to put a load more worms in.
We're in good hands. He's been doing hundreds of flights over the last 8 years.
For now, we got a green flag for all this region. It seems really nice.
Okay.
They are going to fly today.
Each of the 32 flight companies have a slot allocation for their balloons. Wow. There cannot be more than 165 of them flying per day.
Right, that's my worms all in now. Otherwise, they escape from the box if I don't get them straight in. So that's good. They are, what they're called is the axolotls. So they're the juvenile form of salamander. And he is incredibly smiley, particularly when he's eating. So we'll see how much he wants to eat. I have overdone it with worms a bit. But Jack's at the back there will come out in a minute and come and grab his fill. Oh, thank you. I think he's beautiful too. Not everyone's sure about axolotls, but I think they're pretty wonderful. So, Lottie is 5 years old now. I got him 4.5 years ago when he was 6 months old, with his brother Jax, who's just behind him. I'm surprised the others haven't come out. I'll just move you over a little bit, and you can see we've got over here Jelly Bean, who's a copper. I completely get where you're coming from with already having too many pets. I would end up with way too many. Thankfully, they're species only, so that stops me going and filling up with fish, because it would be very, very easy to. Now, both my cats are outside this evening, but obviously I've got little Merlin here. Hello, you good boy. Good boy. He's a year-old Collie Cross Corgi. And then I've got Oti having a sleep there, who's a Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever. I've got two cats, Hugo and... Oh, hold on. Hugo and Lloyd. Well, I'm not quite sure where Lloyd is this evening. Usually he'd be in. Hugo often does go off exploring in the evening. And I think that is enough pets for me. You've got 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 lizards. That's similar amounts. I'm really wanting a chameleon. Do any of you have a chameleon? The reason I haven't had one yet is I go away too much. And they really need sort of monitoring, heat lamps, regular feeding. Jelly Bean has just grabbed a worm. Let's go over and have a little look at him for a minute. So he's just grabbed one. He's munching away on that. So you can see they're all quite different.
So you see the balloons are just dropping down very quickly. Tack says we're going to dive down into the...
Oh, I've had pigs. Not personally. I had them with my job. Coonies, which I wasn't so keen on.
Tank is navigating us towards the region's most popular...
Hello, I've got a little dog here. Which ones I really liked? They're like a pig form of Belter Galloway, but I can't think.
How are you finding the balloon experience so far?
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
So Jelly Bean is quite happy, flapping his floofs.
Better than I expected. Yeah, I'm fair.
Let's go back to Lottie, as Lottie does appear to be really posing today. They all seem to take it in turns. Some days one will be at the front more than the others. And some of you will have seen I've left the video on all night a few times. And that's been really interesting, seeing how much they move and what they do when they're not begging for food from me. Because if I'm in the room with lights on, they tend to be wanting attention.
Most are coming here, they need to stay in some hotels. They need to eat something, so it becomes
Melly.
an industry
You are brown. Hey. Oh, I've just called Merlin to me because he's annoying Oti, and she just wants to chill out for a bit.
Everything that goes up must eventually come down.
How much is it to kit out for an axolotl? Right, that gives a rough idea. This is my aquarium, and this is 3 foot by 2 foot by a foot, and this can take 3 axolotl at the maximum. I've got a mixture of live plants, there's quite a lot of live through there, and artificial plants, and I find this mix works pretty well.
And when they get slammed, they still get the 5-star.
Natural wood and lots of caves. You can see I've got plant pots sort of glued together to form caves in there. The tank and the cabinet, because I wanted it to look quite smart, I started in a much smaller one with just the 2 axolotls when they were babies. I think I paid about 500 for this aquarium and the cabinet, but it's a feature of my room. If I just back up a little bit, for me it's a piece of furniture as well as being their home. It's one of the things I watch as much, if not more, than the TV, to be perfectly honest. So I wanted it to be a nice aquarium. You could go a lot cheaper. You could get a basic tank of a similar size for probably even as little as £50 on Marketplace. So you could go a lot cheaper. I've had this aquarium, I upgraded them, so I've probably had this one 4 years, and they might have gone up in price since then. I haven't been looking, so I haven't really looked. The sand, they probably get through about £10 worth of sand a year. I probably put in about £20 every other year. It doesn't need replacing that often. Needs stirring through fairly regularly.
To help Monica power through her early start, I've made tea. Aren't I nice?
So that's not so bad. The plants, oh, you can just see Jax at the back there. That's the wild coloration, Mr. Jax. He is a thug. He trashes my live plants. He loves them, but he lands on them. He swims through them. So I do have to replenish the live plants fairly regularly. That's probably my biggest cost for them, and the worms. So I did have a wormery, and I've got to find I can keep a wormery going all winter. And here in the UK, I can keep the wormery out in the garage, no problem at all. I've been okay this summer as well, actually. I haven't needed to buy many in, whereas last summer I lost my whole worm supply. It got too hot. They all went putrid. It was disgusting. You wouldn't want to see it. It really was horrible. So if you can keep your own wormery, once it's restocked and it's replenishing itself, it's not too expensive. It's when you have to restock for worms, that can get quite a lot, but it's nothing compared to dog food or cat food. So we're still not talking major amounts. And as you've seen, I feed my axolotls as much as they want, to the point that they're full and they can't eat any more, a couple of times a week. Because these worms, what I've put in today, will last 2 days.
My job is to welcome people in. Before the hotel
Hello, you.
part of real guests,
Come up to say hi.
about the treatments and equipment with members of staff.
Water, doesn't really cost anything. Prime conditioner for making sure the water is the right condition it needs to be. That's, I think it's about £15 a bottle for a larger bottle, and a large bottle will do me a year. The joy of a larger aquarium or larger tank is more expensive to set up, but once it's set up, it looks after itself a lot better. So then it costs you a lot less. My small tank had to be cleaned out every day. Every week. So you took more sand out, you had to replace that more often, you damaged the plants, that needed replaced more often, you were using more prime conditioner. With a bigger tank, I only clean these out
Space.
every 3 months.
Hotel.
And then twice a year, I fully clean out the external filter and everything.
What part of the hotel are you in?
I've got 3. So I've got Jax, Lottie and Jellybean. And in this size tank, that is perfect amount. I wouldn't want any more. I keep seeing Axolotl Reptile Rescue on Facebook, which is where Jellybean came from. So those two are brother and sister. Jellybean came to me during lockdown. Nothing wrong with him. He just needed a home. Someone couldn't keep him anymore, so he came to live with me, and he's gorgeous. He's lovely. And they keep showing all these lovely photos of all the axolotls that need homes. I just can't do it. I have considered putting a pond together outside and having an axolotl pond, which is a possibility because I've got a small pond out there with fish in, made from
The water trickle helps to relax the muscles.
it's whiskey barrel, or half a whiskey barrel. So I could do something similar. He really is hungry tonight, aren't you, Lottie? I could do something similar with half a whiskey barrel for the axolotl. And if that helps give some homes, I'm more than happy to do that. Right, all that sand and all that chaos is Jax. Hi, Jax. Jax doesn't do anything quietly. Jax announces his presence. He's an absolute thug. That plant wasn't there. I don't know why he's put that plant there, but it means he can't get through. So now he's sulking because he can't get through.
How was my massage?
Oh, there we go. Lottie is still eating.
I find a rinse.
Ta-da!
Yeah, you stream your own channel. If you can get people watching, that's brilliant.
Was that better?
You are just gorgeous. I love this axolotl. He has character in spades. He trashes the place, but he is just the most amazing character. Aren't you, Jax? He always comes too close to the glass, so whereas earlier I was able to prop the phone up for you to watch Lottie, Jax doesn't ever do anything not as convenient as that. No, why would you do that? That's right, little silly. You've been lovely to have you along. Maybe we'll see you again soon.
There are lots of press and influencers who have come to have a look around. Welcome.
I'm not quite sure what Jax's plan is now, because he obviously wants some worms, but he's going to have to go backwards, go round, and come back round the other side to get worms. He hasn't thought this through. Whereas Lottie is just munching his way through all of them.
Have fun looking around and I hope you get a treatment and tell the world about this place.
There are so many worms in there, Jax. You just need to use a bit of common sense.
Congratulations.
Because I'm an axolotl, I don't really have common sense.
How do you feel?
If I did, we'd be surviving in the wild. Yeah, not doing so great in wild. Think pandas in amphibian form.
Was it worth it?
There's a group of nuns that have done an amazing job keeping them alive.
If the idea in the spa is to marry
Thank you, little Celia. We'll see you again soon. Sorry, still got a bit of a cough. I haven't been as well. Right, I'm just going to grab a drink.
Executive Chef Medley, who grew up 20 minutes
I can't leave you with that thug because he's too close. Aren't you? Hello. Right, I'm just going to leave you with Jellybean while I grab a quick drink. So I haven't been well this week. I wasn't going to do this today, but they persuaded me to.
We're using these pottery dishes.
Bu da evde yapılan ve burada buranın toprağından üretilen bir şey.
It's beautiful. I've never cooked anything in a clay jar like this, so I can't wait to see how it's done. Testi kebabs are made by stuffing together finely chopped veg and meat, and we're making potloads of it for a big event at the hotel tonight. Is this a traditional recipe, or have you changed it a little bit?
Tamamen yeni bir tarif. Yani hiç değişmeyen bir tarif aslında. Bu atalarımızdan gelen süreklilik devam ediyor.
I love that, and also I'm coming to Turkey. I want to try authentic, Turkish cuisine. It's beautiful, beautiful heritage. How long have you worked here in the hotel?
14 yıldır burada devam ediyorum. Bu işin küçük noktasından çıraklığından başlayarak buraya kadar geldim.
So you've been here 14 years, but you started as a commie chef,
Yes.
and now executive chef. Nice, very nice. Möglich is not
Right, that's better.
it's classic.
I've had a drink, so I shouldn't be coughing all over you.
Çok önemli. Eşit miktarlarda olması
And while I've been out,
katarken
Mr.
dikkatli katmanız
Lottie, come back to the front.
Sides, there's kebabs and peppers, tomatoes and onions,
You'll see there is a bit of green algae on my tank.
or spices.
I need to have another clean
Eti buraya
with
kadar
the scraper.
tamamen.
Um, I'm not concerned about it being immaculate because I have live plants in there. And I would rather have live plants than a slightly scruffy tank.
Happy right now? To see möglich ancient trick. On the top, so it's a lid, make it flush on the top.
The bready dough will seal the flavours inside.
Oh, Jax, you are being silly. You're going to miss out on the food. This is why I overfeed. Because even if Jax doesn't get much now, I put so many worms in that there'll be enough for him later on. Really? Good boy. Good boy.
May not be thousands of years old, but this cooking technique is 2 hours. Lots of time.
Let's go and have a little
I
see.
love that movie.
Hello.
From this
You need to go backwards.
townless and small
You need to go round the other side and come back round for the wormies.
These recipes
Okay?
from his grandparents,
The more attention I spend,
grandparents, and
the
he
less
wants
likely you are to do
bring all
it.
that into the hotel's cuisine. He wants
Go on,
to
Mr.
keep
Jax.
authenticity, his culture, and tell that story.
So as I said earlier, that plant wasn't there. He has moved that plant, probably not deliberately, he's just landed on it. But he's now blocked his own route round the front here, the reason I didn't have the plant there. He's also squashed the live plants in the process. And this is why you cost me so much in live plants, Jax. He's a thug. He's just a bit gormless, but I love him. Aren't you? Yes. So like I said, he's the wild coloration. And then you've got Jelly Bean, the copper, just searching out for some more worms there. And then we have our lovely Lottie the Lucy, Leucistic. And he's just a bit of a star for YouTube, really, because he poses in the right place, doesn't get too close to the screen, and just looks gorgeous. I'm hoping that if we even ignore Jax a bit, he might come round the other side.
Why did you all, and that's where he's going to put them. I was trying to create.
You are lovely, Lottie. Which is your favourite, guys? Which coloration do you prefer? Or have you got some at home? Have you got a different colour?
Cappadocia has one of the world's oldest wine industries, going back 4,000 years.
They've got so much character.
There's only one place really to put.
I know I've had people staying. My mum in particular couldn't believe just how much character these little amphibians have.
Wow, this is epic.
I go to bed fairly early usually,
On and on, Rob.
and she stays up later than me. And Lottie had her so worried she was Googling for a couple of hours because he floated on the top of the tank. And that's just... Axolotls do weird stuff. They don't read the rule books. Whereas if a fish is floating, it's got a swim bladder, or it's ill, it's dying, there's something wrong with it. Axolotls float and they're just going, well, hey, this is fun. And it's just the sort of thing they do. Hey, poser. Hey, poser. You can see the phone's just struggling to adjust lighting wise as he moves towards it in a way. He's coming to get you.
Ask them if they would need anything right now.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Do you need anything? Where's the news?
So Jax is still determined to get through here by sheer thuggery and pushing his way through.
Unfortunately, he cannot.
He hasn't yet figured that that doesn't generally work,
Could it be? Looks like a flea.
but he's got to find another way. I love you, Jax,
Okay, maybe not.
but I do worry about your intelligence at times. You can see he's covered in sand because he crash landed earlier. So Lottie has just gone back and got yet another worm. He is feeding very happily this evening. And Jax is fixated on that one worm in there. Whereas if he just went round, I think he'd get more.
Here are our whirling dervishes. What a name. What a look. So the musicians are looking for such a tell exactly where to be. Merhaba. These are ancient Turkish, ancient Byzantine.
See, my floating weed's doing well, actually. Can you see the amount of roots on it? That's what I'm after. Actually, I could do another couple of pots of that. I was going to grab some more. We were going to have a shrimp feeding. But the aquarium centre didn't have any feeding shrimps in, which was a real shame. Right, we've got worms heading towards Jack, so he might get lucky. I think he's just like hoping one will crawl into his mouth, which being Jack's, it probably will happen. You've had yet another worm, so you're looking very happy and pleased with yourself, aren't you? Now, but here's a worm crawling towards Jack's mouth, so we'll see whether he gets lucky. You're not full yet, Lottie. You've had so many tonight. And I really find they go through stages like this. One day one will eat loads and you don't see the others eat. But then they'll come later on when it's a bit quieter. Jellybean's always a bit sneaky. He's had at least 2 today. We videoed one, but not the other. I think Lottie's just left us with his tail. And Jax has sort of got lucky. So he's got the worm, but he's also got a leaf with it. Oh, well done. You know what? You might be getting better at this. Now, feeding them shrimp teaches them to hunt. I used to worry about dangling the worms in front of them with tweezers. And if they didn't eat, it was all my fault. And what was going wrong? And they hadn't had enough to eat that day. And then when I got Jellybean, I asked how they fed so many rescue axolotls. So, a small person has decided to occupy himself, as I'm not occupying him, and someone else is sleeping. So yes, I asked them how they managed to feed all those rescue axolotls, and they said we just put the worms in and leave them to it. And since I went with that, life's so much easier, and that's what I do now. So like I've said several times over, that is very loud. Mr. Merlin. Hello. Hello, mate. So like I've said, I overfeed, so I know that there's plenty to go round. It's not that the greediest axolotl's eating them all and no one else gets looking, and that means they can all eat them within their own time and they're all happy. So Jax is now being really hopeful that this other worm crawling around there might do the same. I still think he'd be better off going backwards and coming from the other side, because there really are still quite a lot of worms left in here. Lottie's, sorry, not Lottie. Jellybean is just quietly sitting there And he just grabs any worms that go past him. So he's doing quite well. Lottie has eaten so many, I think he's actually gone round the back here. Yeah, he's having a chill out around the back there now. You can see, I said this is a foot wide tank, and that is basically the length of Jack's. He was 12 inches last time I measured him. I haven't measured him probably for a year or so. So he's quite long axolotl, and you can see why we need the size of tank. There was this belief for quite a while that you only needed shallow tanks for axolotls. But that's not the situation they live in. These aren't sort of cave dwellers. And again, there was this rumour that don't have lights on. Well, mine know that lights going on means dinner time. So they're more than happy having the lights on. And they like having the different levels. It's not unusual for me to come in and find a couple planted in the plants. And then another one sat on top of caves.
It's better to kind of leave history alone. But by the end of the week, I feel like they've really brought it back to life. They've honoured the past.
So yeah, they come from a lake. Lakes are deep. And there's sunlight coming through. It's an open lake, it's not sort of cave dwelling salamanders. I think that's where people have got a little bit muddled. So you're perfectly fine having a deep tank with the axolotls. What it does do is make it so much easier to keep the water colder. If you've got a really shallow tank, in the summer it is a nightmare keeping it cool enough for them. They want cold water, they don't want lukewarm water, they don't do well in it. They definitely don't want hot water. Only thing with having a large tank is make sure that there are levels. Now I usually have a soap dish in as well, which I will put back in for them actually. So mine can land in the plants, certainly if the plant pot is stable enough. This one at the front is, they can land on a piece of wood in the middle. The plants round by the the tubes at the back, although I prefer them not to because they're not quite as stable. So yeah, just make sure there's levels in there. So if your axolotl is still quite young and needs to go up for air, you haven't got it so deep that it can't do that. You must be so full, Lottie. You've eaten so much. He couldn't get less, could he? Right, I said I'm not going to leave you watching all night because, as I said, I haven't been well. I do need to go and get some more sleep. Hello, you. See, this is the trouble. I tried to go to bed and he looks cute again. He's very good at looking cute. It's nearly time for me to go and let the dogs out to the loo, settle them for the night, and get me settled for the night. And this is why I can't have more pets. As much as I'd love them, I work enough hours to support the ones I've got. So the more money I have to earn to pay for them, that's the less time I've got to spend with them. And that's where I miss out. Well, it's been absolutely lovely chatting to you all this evening. And it's actually been nice because what it does is it makes me sit down and enjoy them. Although I was quite happy sat on the sofa enjoying them. That little look from Lottie, how could I resist? They beg worse than the dogs. I don't let the dogs beg. But the axolotls, how do I stop an axolotl begging? Well, the only way to stop them is to feed them. So they're not silly, are they? Right, so we're going to say goodnight. So that is Jack's creeping around. Hey, Jax. You see my sand, I've got mixed. It's slowly going lighter, depending on the mix. I love his eyes. Aren't they gorgeous? It's a really gorgeous eyes. So we've got Jelly Bean over there. He's been a bit quiet today. More like his old self, actually. Hiding more whilst we were all chatting. And then I think today's star has obviously been Lottie. You've been the star today, haven't you, Lot? So there we go. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed seeing them all and seeing them all feeding. We do this fairly regularly, probably once a week. And I think in next week I will try and do a whole night one again, where you get to see what they get up to overnight. But it's been lovely to have you along. There are lots of other videos on these guys and on all my other pets. Lots of lovely walking videos with the dogs. So please feel free to have a look through and see what you can find to enjoy and watch. Right, our little poser. You are looking incredibly gorgeous, Lottie. We'll say goodbye.
Six Senses Ibiza has 4 pools and 3 restaurants, all facing the setting Ibiza sun.
Very hard to say goodbye, isn't it, when he's looking like that? I'm afraid it really will have to happen, folks. So, take care. Look out for us going live again. And we'll see you all again soon.